With views like these, you'd be forgiven for thinking I'm in the Highlands. But I'm not.
These are the Southern Uplands, and that is the grey mare's tail.
And between them, they're about to destroy my phone. Welcome to Scotland's Unplugged, and Scotland's other geographical area. Scotland's generally thought of as being divided into two specific areas, the Highlands at the top and the Lowlands at the bottom, where all the people are. But that's not quite true. The Southern Uplands cross the bottom of the country, to the south of the Southern Upland fault line running from Ballantrae in the west to Dunbar in the east. The hills formed when three continents collided about 400 million years ago. I was going to take you to see something else today, the fabulously named Devil's Beef Tub, but I couldn't actually see it. The grey mare's tail sits in a nature reserve near the town of Moffat, slap bang in the middle of the Southern Uplands, so it's a good place to see them, theoretically.
I'm not totally convinced I should be up here. I have spent most of the week to date lying in bed trying not to throw up and saying goodbye to my kids.
The climb to the top was a bit more than I was expecting.
I had planned to try and get you some nice drone footage, but there is not a chance I'm sending up my poor mini drone in that.
It's only actually the 5th highest waterfall in the UK, but it's quite something, flowing from Loch Skene over a series of mini waterfalls before plunging 60 metres. I probably don't need to explain how it got its name. I traced my way back along the flowing water as the weather got worse.
And this is Loch Skene. I'm guessing on a nice day, it's somewhere you might actually want to be. Although even on a day like today, it's better than mining coal. I'm guessing. I've never actually mined coal. Horrible. This is Scotland though. Give it 5 minutes, it could be positively balmy. There are actually a few grey mares' tails in Scotland, one very near where I grew up in Galloway. What you can see was created by glacial erosion. It's a site that even inspired Walter Scott to write a poem. You can find feral goats, peregrine falcons and ospreys. There are signs of human life here dating back to the Iron Age, but the most well-known history here relates to the 17th century and the Covenanters, a religious group persecuted for their refusal to acknowledge the Stuart kings as head of the church. You can find out more about them if you go and watch my videos on Greyfriars Kirk, Pedon's Cove and or the Wigtown Martyrs. This area was remote enough to give them a degree of shelter. Watch Now, above the grey mare's tail, was used by Covenanters as a lookout point for government troops. There is a bit of a legend about the grey mare's tail. The story goes that two Covenanters had been hiding out here and they were getting kind of hungry. Over the hill they could hear the sound of hooves and they thought that meant roast goat. They snuck over the hilltop in search of the goat, but that wasn't what they found. In the valley below was old Nick, the devil himself, roasting human flesh on a spit. Legend has it that when the devil turned to look at them, they held on to their faith and began reciting psalms rather than fleeing, and that was all that saved them. Then the devil tried another trick. He turned himself into valuable leather hides and threw himself over the grey mare's tail, tempting the Covenanters to follow him to their certain death.
But of course, they were of greater moral fibre than that. Unlike me, I dried out as quickly as I could and hightailed it home. As the rain disappeared, I took the long way round through the borders and some even more stunning landscapes.